lots to look forward to about this match. I mentioned it in the intro segment there, Tony, but these two seem to be a bit of a magnet to each other in the draw, and it's amazing how you'll have known it happened back in your day. You probably had one yourself, a player who you just couldn't help but run into once every 2 or 3 tournaments, just kept on playing them, almost like not quite a bogey player, but just a player you meet all the time. I think these two have probably played about 10 Pro Series matches, I think, over the last few years. They keep bumping into each other, but they do get the best out of each other as well. Their styles are very similar. They both are so attacking. They both go for everything. They both play a really eye-catching brand of pool. Both lefties as well. And, yeah, loads to look forward to on this one.
Yeah, it is uncanny when that happens, and there's a couple of players that I'd seem to play more than others. Unfortunately, they were good players as well. It would have been nice if they were rubbish and you keep bumping into them and you keep beating them, but it wasn't the case.
Yeah, didn't get that sort of luck, did you, Tone? Yeah.
No, I played Phil Harrison quite a few times. It was just annoying. It was getting to the stage where I was trying to sort of interfere with his transport, get into the venues before I had to play him, and maybe see if I could get a bye.
So Craig with...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say another one, Mick Hill and Darren Appleton were the ones that sort of sprung to mind, yeah. Nice trio of opponents.
Yeah, you've been walking under some ladders, I think, in your time. It's Craig at the table first. He's on yellows. He's got a good chance as well. Played some great stuff this weekend, Craig. He went out in the quarterfinals of the first event to Aaron Davies, the eventual winner. And he went out in such a dramatic way. It was incredible. But he also knows exactly the mistake that he made. It was a complete mental aberration from Craig, and that can happen. That really can happen. But once it has happened once, it usually doesn't tend to happen again. And he's one of the best I've ever seen at just taking his medicine. If he's done something, he's made a mistake or something's happened, he gets up with it, he rolls with the punches, he moves on. And it's no surprise to me to see him battling away well in this event already.
Yeah, funny you should say that, Gemma, because I nipped out for something to eat just after that game he played against Aaron, and I bumped into Craig, and I said, well, what happened, mate? He said, well, I've had 15 seconds to think, and I wasn't quite sure, so I just played the first shot that sort of sprang to mind, if you like. He said, if I'd have had longer, I would have played a different shot, but he said, he's still got to come off 2 rails and pop that ball. He said, if he doesn't, I win the match. Which is, I kind of get it. If you have to put those balls back, how many times does he put that out of, let's say 50? Probably 10 at best. So, he's a 5-1, but I do get it. When you've only got 15 seconds to think and you've got to hurry up, the nearest shot sometimes is all you can do. But anyway, Phil Parkin to break off, frame number 2. And that's what he doesn't want. Oh no, he did make a ball. I was about to say a dry break. Where did the ball go in? Can't see it. Oh, see, I was too busy watching the balls chasing up to the top of the table. Didn't notice that red sneak in behind me. So anyway, Phil Parkin then has made a ball. Well, he tried to play the red off cushion, off yellow to pot it, and he's failed. So Craig Waddingham quickly back at the table. A shake of the head from the power. Can't believe he didn't drop. Also, by not getting that first red, handing choice of colour to Craig, who has now taken reds. The way Phil Parkin probably thinking he might as well have had a dry break as go and do that, because the reds are all open. And the silver sniper is going to shoot this frame down. Just this black then for Craig. He's going to race into a 2-0 lead after Phil Parkin's miss with the red, and in it goes. Phil Parkin has been completely and utterly punished to the hilt. Not even 5 minutes gone of the match, and there he is, the silver sniper, Craig. Be quite happy with things at the moment. Couldn't wish for a better start. Been in such good form the last sort of 12-18 months. Sort of ever since the Rasslon Apollo table has appeared in the Ultimate Pool arena, Craig Waddingham, his game just seems to have moved right up there. He loves the table. The table seems to love him, although maybe not yesterday for a split second. There he is. He gives the table a pat as well, lovingly. So here we go. Frame number 3. Craig to break us off. And he's gone dry. Well, he got into the balls well enough. Looked like he's going to make a ball in the top right there, but they sort of those reds all cannoned into each other and stayed out. Well, the last time I saw Phil play was at Daventry, playing against John Chambers in a fantastic match there, where John Chambers are racing to a 3-0 lead, and Phil Parkin then took 4 in a row, all splendid finishes. And it did go down to the wire with Phil Parkin pulling out the most ridiculous thin cut yellow, and the cube going all the way around the table and getting onto his second to last ball, and it was just one of the most phenomenal shots. It's been shown quite a few times on the socials from Ultimate Pool. If you can find it anywhere, you want to have a look at it, because it's a ridiculous pull shot. But that's what Phil Parkin can produce. As the guys are saying earlier, he does like to go and attack the game. One of Ultimate Pool's aggressors. Yeah, nice use of check side there by Phil Parkin, just to square the cue ball up to come through the gap of those 2 yellows. Oh, he's underhit it. Oh my good gracious. What has he done there? I mean, he's not committed a foul, but he just wants to cut this in. As soon as he hit it, he knew he'd just not giving it any beans at all.
Almost like he rushed it. I don't know if he did, but it's almost like he did. Just took it for granted.
Well, he's got plenty of table to play with. He could have hit that way harder.
Yeah.
That's going to be one to really stick in the mind if he goes on and loses this frame because of that.
He's got a little bit lucky because Craig hasn't got anything easy, but when has that ever stopped him? Almost guaranteed to see Craig go game here.
But the thing is, Craig shouldn't have anything at all.
Oh, he could cut that back. That helps. Thought that was just below the pocket enough to make it a problem, but yeah, he's in business
I wonder if he can just play this little plant down here. with the 2 yellows. If he can play, got the 4 yellows there, and it's the second one down. If he could plant out one into the one in the corner, that would open the whole frame up. He's certainly not going to do that now. He's just going to take this one into the middle. Well, this is the ultimate kick in the you-know-whats for Phil Parkin. This is real hurt, because this was Phil's frame completely. And to not hit the ball hard enough, it's nearly over the pocket, and like Stephen just said, just rushed it, just took it for granted, didn't give it any attention at all. He's probably, what's going through his head with the 2 reds over the bag, he's probably thinking about the black, and wasn't even thinking about the reds, because those balls were dead over the bag. Lovely control there from Waddingham. And now this black ball into the top corner for a 3-0 lead. And a world of hurt for Phil Parkin. And in it goes. And the Silver Sniper is now 3 frames to the good. Almost like, I remember a putt in the British Open many, many years ago. I'm going to say 1987 at a slight guess. Hale Irwin had his ball over the hole, and he went to just tap it in, as you do in a game of golf, and he walked up to tap it in, and he didn't even hit the ball. He feathered over the top of it, and it didn't move. And of course, that was a shot in golf, and he was actually in contention for the Open, I believe, at the time as well. It was almost like that. I'm sure Simon Webb will remember this, being the great golf enthusiast that he is.
Yeah, you're barking up a wrong tree here, Tone, I've got to say. Apologies. I'd love to be involved, but not my
You haven't got your inner Webby with you.
No, I'm the right side of 40, I think. So it's not quite.
Wow.
It's not quite stepped up for me in that sense yet. But I do have a sense that it will come, and the fear that I have, just on a personal level, is that
if you ever take the mickey out of me again, you'll be going through.
No, absolutely not. I've got no fear of that whatsoever. But no, the fear I have is if and when I do pick it up, is I fear getting bit by the bug so hard I don't do anything else, which is what I think Simon wrestles with.
Yeah, bless him. Well, it's all going a bit Pete Tong at the moment for Phil Parkin. Craig Waddingham. His dilemma is what colour to choose. And there you are, plays a great combo shot there. Play yellow onto the red, the yellow goes in behind. And a double to follow. And with every shot, there's just a little bit more of a skip in Craig Waddingham's stride now. Starting to look super confident. And if this man gets in the groove, look out. Well, that's been quite unfriendly, those yellows there. He played off the 2 yellows at the top of the table there to just open them up. And they've actually both come sailing down the table and stuck behind a red that was there as well. So as you can see, from that overhead view, those 2 yellows are now parked behind Phil's red. And he's going to take some getting this finish now, I can assure you. Well, so much so that Craig elects just to pull back a bit. I'm not sure he's played a great shot there, though. I think he's just let Phil Parkin see that red over the middle bag. What you want to do, Craig, there was to leave the cue ball stuck to the 2 yellows and Phil have it to fire at one of the other balls, and he actually just left him on it. So you kind of feel that this is a must-win frame now for Phil Parkin. If he fails to take this chance, you think the match is going to sail by.
We know Phil Parkin is gonna keep on firing, but there does come a point when you just are so far back against top quality opposition that it is difficult to stay in it. Really needs these to go. He's happy enough that that red at the top of the table goes to the top right. Difficult hold. He's a bit thin on this one. Really digging in. Yeah, that made it missable. Has he had a touch? Don't think so.
Not only that, the 2 reds are now stuck at the top of the table. Yes, they may plant it if he did get back to the table. You fear he won't. But it's
I
just,
tell you what, this is confidence. How's this for confidence?
but
Pot's one, and he's on the one on the rail next.
yeah, but it's not too bad, because if he does miss, he's bringing the cue ball across the table as well. So he's not leaving anything particularly easy, but he's hit it sweet as a nut.
Yeah, I take the point that he had a bit of insurance, but at the same time, I just love the way he goes about it. Just never in doubt that he could take that option first.
Well, he's got himself a little bit of an angle here, so just play the cue ball. I would have thought into the side rail, sweep the cue ball across, like so, and leave himself a nice simple 8 down into the bottom corner, and this for 4-0. Once again, Phil Parkin will be absolutely kicking himself.
Yeah, tough to take that for Phil. We've seen a lot of comebacks on this table over the course of the last 2 days. For Phil Parkin to get through to the quarterfinals, he's going to have to find one himself. Not going to be easy. Just find Craig's mentality just so fascinating. It's just bulletproof, isn't it? You know, the way he lost that quarterfinal yesterday, you know, it takes some players weeks, months to get over an error like that. But he was the one thing I found incredible is that happened to him, and he was almost instantly back out on an outside table in it would have been the last 64. Yeah, against Aidan Hughes.
8-7.
First round match, went to a hill, won the decider. And, you know, Aidan threw everything at him. But just to get over the line in a match like that after what had just happened shows his quality. And he just resets and just goes again. It's amazing. This was a tough one to take for Phil Parkin. He'd have been absolutely convinced he was getting to the table watching that. But alas, this is tricky though.
Well, I think Craig's got the mindset of a real professional, because he does play the game for a living. That's his job. So the way he's got to look at it is that, okay, I've got to go back to work. And if you can get that sort of thing and be very matter of fact about it, you can get. If it'd been me, I'd have probably come out for the second match and I don't know, they'd have probably wrestled me out of the arena or something. I'd have struggled with that, because that was my temperament. Far too animated at times, and
but that's what I mean.
Show my frustration.
Yeah, Craig's almost cold with it. It's so impressive. But it's not like it doesn't mean anything. It's not like he's completely emotionless. You know, when he successfully finds the ability to celebrate it means a lot to do well. But to have that, but it also not derail you if it goes badly, is so impressive. It's the way that he handles himself out there, I think, is really special.
Yeah, no, when I saw him, which was not very long after the moment, you know, and he's very matter of fact about it. He said, I had 15 seconds, played the wrong shot. I didn't have a lot of time to think, and you're aware of the clock moving down. He said, I played a shot, and he said, if I'd play it again, and he probably wouldn't get it, and I'd win the match. So,
Yeah.
and he was just sort of shrugged it away. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah.
Not going to dwell on it.
Made a mistake, move on. Yeah, he said the same thing to me when I saw him later in the day. It happens, made a mistake, move on.
Yeah. He's not making many mistakes today, though, is he?
Is he ever? 5-zip. What a performance so far from Craig Waddingham. We're going to check in for the first time around our other tables. This is Callum Singleton against Ryan Pisani. Callum about to go 2-1 in front over the Maltese. That's available for you on YouTube right now, the company of Mark Shepherd and Nick Finn. Elsewhere, this is Luke McAvoy, who's just fresh off beating the Pro Series 1 champion. Aaron Davies losing out in the decider to Cool Hand Luke, one of the new professionals this year. Not yet even had him on one of our live streams. This is the first sighting of Cool Hand Luke in front of the Ultimate Pool cameras. And he's got a great chance to go up in his match there, which is in the last 16. Reached up against Christy Caulfield. That match has just started. That's 0-0 currently. Elsewhere, currently live in the last 16, Ricky Jones is 4-2 up on David McQuillan. Shane Thompson 3-2 up on Rad McCullough. And those are our live scores. Elsewhere, we've got Joe Prince against Stevie Dempsey, Tom Jones, Greg Batten, Phil Harrison, Declan Brennan. Craig Waddingham got to this stage yesterday by beating Kyle Cope 8-3 in the last 32. Phil Parkin had a good win over Darryl Whitworth 8-4 in his last 32 match. Got through Zach Shepherd 8-2 in the first rounds. And he's digging at these reds. And the problem is when you're in this position and you're 5-0 down, it's not unassailable. We saw that yesterday in a couple of the matches, that this isn't unassailable. But this is a tough, tough out from here. How's he solving this 8-ball, Tony?
Well, I think if he has an angle, maybe he could go in now, kick into it, leave himself on the red into the either. I don't think it's a bit tight into the middle. Might drop in, but definitely go in the top corner. But whilst he doesn't have that, so he's playing a double.
Oh, hell of a shot, hell of a leave. How would you like these?
No,
It's
I
come
don't.
out as smelly as it possibly could. He's played a lovely shot there.
Yeah, don't like this at all. Horrible shot to be playing.
That smaller white really, really feels tiny on a shot like this. Oh, Phil, that's
That's a monster.
ridiculous.
That's as
At
That's as good
5-0 down to pull that out. Come on.
it's as good a shot as you'll see all weekend. That incredible shot from Parkin.
Yeah, that's fantastic from Phil Parkin. 5-0 down to pull your first frame out like this. That's such a great shot. Absolutely brilliant. Tough out here. Lost 5 frames on the spin. He'd be only human if he was thinking I'm right up against it now. But just has to try and focus 1 frame at a time. We've seen comebacks here this weekend. Phil Parkin, regardless of opponent, is capable of doing to Craig exactly what Craig's just done to him. He just needs the chances to do it. That finish there was pretty special. He's got form for that as the power. Winner of Ultimate Pool's Clearance of the Year last season, for a finish he took out against Chris Melling in the Players' Championship. Oh, that's a great break. The issue you have is the chances. 5-1 down, time's not a problem, half an hour, loads of time to pull that gap back. And obviously Phil's playing well. If he gets a chance, he'll fancy himself to clear it. But getting chances looks like it may well be the toughest thing at this point, because Craig is playing brilliantly, breaking well, up against it. Well, that is rare. Blue Moon sort of miss from Craig Waddingham. You don't see those missed by him very often at all. And Phil Parkin's going to get first go at these yellows. Great chance for him. Yeah, slides by the red, that's lovely.
Yeah, landed a bit straight there on that yellow, but it should be okay. It's got a little bit of room to manoeuvre the cue ball. Deep screw. Two choices here. He could punch through the gap between red and black, or he could probably just roll the cue ball down past the black ball. Gone for the former. And this for 5-2. Down goes the black ball. And the power. Well, he's not laying down. He'll be feeling just a bit better now about himself. That incredible shot a couple of frames ago would have elevated his confidence levels up. Hopefully now that's got rid of out of his head the one that he didn't hit hard enough to that corner bag, which just completely took his mind off.
It's crazy, isn't it, how quickly one mistake can almost properly impact a match. And, you know, for Phil not quite giving full care and attention to that red. See also Craig missing an absolutely routine yellow in the last frame. Maybe that's his moment. Maybe that's the window for Phil Parkin.
Well, he made a ball off the break and he's on the yellows now. Landed a bit awkward there. Would have liked to have not been stuck to that yellow, but he has got a yellow available into the top left.
The issue, as Phil Parkin is finding out, is when you are up against it, no matter if your opponent lets you in, if you are down big in a match, any more mistakes can be fatal. Not getting out on yellows there.
Yeah, just snooking himself behind Craig's red, and Craig has just patiently got ball in hand, played another snooker. Phil Parkin did come out and hit the yellows, but Craig Waddingham now trying to edge ever closer to the finishing line in this frame. Oh, just for a second now I thought he was knocking that yellow in front of the red, but he's still got an issue with the red that's stuck to the black ball. He wanted an angle on this ball at the bottom to be able to kick them apart. Can he pinch a bit of this bag and get in there? Oh, it's a great shot. What a good shot there from Craig Waddingham. Perfectly played. And now the frame at the mercy of the silver sniper. And Parkin will be looking back on a couple of mistakes he's made should he go on to lose this match. I mean, it's going to be 6-2 now to Craig. But Parkin looks at it, he'd be thinking he should be 4-all at least. There's Rab McCulloch from Northern Ireland. He's taking on Shane Thompson. So Rab is 5-2 adrift of the man from Somerset. But he's in a good position in this frame. You think this should be 5-3. Anyway, back to the main action, and Craig Waddingham, who's going to break us off in frame at number 9. Just requiring 2 more. Loads of time left on the match clock. And once again, everything fired up towards that top right-hand corner. Just look at this, it looks a little tricky. I'm not sure, because of our angle here, if Craig can get past that yellow at the top and make one of those reds into the corner. If he can't, he's going to have to play a tougher shot, because he will want reds, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a big pot, needed that. Okay, just looking to see if he can get through the gap. Maybe he can't get to the 3 reds, but what he can do is he can play off the 2 reds that are stuck together, thin edge of the first one. Cue ball then hits that yellow that's to the right of it and sends the yellow towards the 3 balls over the bag if he's going to be ultra attacking.
This feels like a basher special. This is the Tony Holgate, isn't it? No, he could get through. More cultured.
It was teasing us because he did look off the edge of that.
He did look.
I'm having a word with him later for that.
Yeah,
Throw it as a curveball.
He definitely looked. Well, he might just be looking at it because it's a shot he will probably have to play at some point. Is cue ball south of those 2 reds, cutting into those 2 yellows. What's he going to do with that? With that yellow. Dives it in. Is it going to reach? No. No, it isn't. Okay. Phil Parkin gets a life.
Could play loss of turn here. Can go game as well, but if he just played a loss of turn, drop that red in and put the cue ball stuck next to his yellow. The other yellow does cover over. He played in such a way that it wouldn't be very easy for Craig Waddingham to play the combo shot after this if you can just get the yellow into the right place. Yeah, and that's what he's got to play. Yeah, and that's a good shot there for Phil Parkin, because to try and play, you can't play the combo there, because where the 2 balls are, yes, you can knock the yellow in, but the red will just stick where it is. still got to play it, but it would be pumping the cue ball right down to the bottom of the table now. But now there'll be half a chance here now for Phil. This is what he wanted, just a little sneaky look at trying to get this frame. Does not want to let Waddingham get to the hill. Played that well, did Phil. Feeling that Phil just tried to play on that yellow to get it into the middle. It's come a little bit further than he'd have liked, and still played in the middle. Oh, he went to move the yellow and he didn't. Ouch. And this was the problem. He wanted to be a lot straighter on that yellow so he could just pop the one in the middle and just get behind it. And he's gone for the cross double. Not happened, and he's a look of disgust there from Phil Parkin as he trudges back to his chair because he's left Craig Waddington. Waddington? Who's he? That must be his brother. He's left the Silver Sniper in perfect position here now to get on the hill. Yeah, he's not happy. I mean, he's had some chances in this match, Phil. And at this level, these are the things that, you know, you have to take them. You're playing one of the informed players on the world stage in Waddingham, and Craig knocks in the black. He's on the hill. One away. And Craig will feel it's a decent day at the office thus far. He's done what he had to do. The odd small mistake, but they haven't been punished by Phil Parkin. And what could have been, I can think of at least two glaring ones, possibly three. And it's disappointing. I mean, he's such a good player, Phil Parkin, as well. His potting is unbelievable. But it's just one's a careless one. One's, again, it's just fallen out of position slightly. And it's just been a frustrating day, I'd say, for Phil.
Day.
So Parkin now breaking off frame number 10. He needs every single remaining frame in this 6 and, well, at least 5, just to even give himself a chance of maybe a 6 red shootout if he could get that far. But dry breaks are not going to help him. And just look at the split as we see Phil's break once again, and just the resignation that, you know, what can I do? And this is a pretty simple finish really for Craig. Just wants to get up to the top there. There's that red in the middle of near the top cushion. Anyway, he's perfect on this now, the little plant. Well, just the simple stuff now for Craig. Two balls from home now. Simple black now for Craig Waddingham. And in goes the black, and Craig Waddingham marches on. The silver sniper defeats the power, Phil Parkin, 8 frames to 2. It's been a frustrating day at the office of Phil Parkin, but Waddingham, well, he's done what he does best, and that is mop up the mistakes. And I'll tell you what, he's looking very, very sharp indeed this morning.